Just finished Canada here at the Burge Gym, but welcome as Waterloo and Queens are about to take the court, and a huge game here. The bronze medal up for grabs, but not only that, a berth in the national championship.
Absolutely, and that's one of the biggest things that these teams are looking for right here. There will be 3 people in the Final Four going to the CIS final. They will be here in March. And you know what, that's going to be huge for both of these teams because neither team has seen a CIS berth in quite some time.
And now let's take a look at the matchup. For Queens, you got to like Mike Tomlinson. Tell me what he did yesterday.
Absolutely. Tomlinson was an absolute force to be reckoned with. He was the one using his full power. He was going through some serious blocks yesterday. He could not be stopped. And he was also the #1 hitting person on their team yesterday. As you saw up at the stats, there was no regard. He had almost 21 points up there just for himself. So Tomlinson was definitely a huge part of this Queens Gales team.
And then you look onto the Warriors side of the court, and they have Brandon Koch, who played tremendous for the Warriors yesterday.
Absolutely. If you watched the broadcast yesterday, there was not a name that went unmentioned in terms of Brandon Koch. He was so strong and so crisp with very few errors. He was one of the go-tos on the Waterloo side, and I don't think that anything will change at all today for Brandon Koch. So as we look here on the court, there's no surprise at all. We see Ivo Dramoff, the libero, coming on for Queens right now. Jamie Wright there, head setter. Tyler Shearhorn in the middle. Marco Drakic, Scott Brunette, Mike Tomlinson, and his brother Chris Brunette. And as we look here on the Waterloo side, no surprise here, one of the top liberos in the OUA, Eric Woolley, in his final year, ready to get started with this game here. Trevor Kothup, Aiden Simone, Brandon Koch, Gibson Graham in the setting position, Jordan McConkey, one of the strongest middles in the OUA, and Greg Simone, brother of Aiden. We have brother against brother here tonight.
Should be a good matchup as both brothers like to go at it. You see Chris Burnett, the rookie, really stepped up this year, so see how he steps up in a huge situation like this.
Absolutely. Super interesting point here. Both of them have 2 very senior members on the brother side, and both of them 2 very junior ones, both harboring 2 first years. And as we see, Greg Simone is going to step up to this baseline to get us started, the youngest of the Simone brothers. You know,
Right.
this is going to be a battle of wits today for sure. This is a very equal matchup here.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and Simone gets the sign from the referee. He's ready to go. Throws up the spinner. Gets it over. Nice pass up there. Set by Wright. Off the block. Woolley. Up to Graham. The quick. Right there. What a start for the Warriors.
Yeah, there's no surprise there. McConkey has been a super strong middle here. It's going to be interesting to see how he matches up with Shearhorn on the other side.
Great execution there as McConkey didn't miss the opportunity and the open look that he had. As Simone with another serve, but this one sails just long. Good call there by the Gales in the back row to let that one go. Marco Dakic now behind the line.
Dakic seeing a substitution last night, but one of the strongest players on the Queens Gales.
McConkey went up again, got blocked. Some out to Aiden Simone. Huge block there for the Gales.
Aiden Simone, one of the most senior players on the Waterloo side. He has the ability to work with a block and use his strength to avoid it.
Dakic throws up the spinner again. Simone with the nice pass up to Graham. Out to Simone again. A huge kill down the line there for Aiden Simone.
You know, Kyle, usually Fraser and I talk about the setter-hitter connection, and what we just saw there's Aiden Simone. He missed that one opportunity, and you know, Graham is going to give him that chance to reinstill some confidence in himself as the outside hitter, giving him the ball again, and look what he did with it.
McConkey just rolled that one over the net, but there's Tomlinson. A huge block there by Simone at the net. Teamed up with Trevor Koth up there with the double tandem, double block at the net.
You know, Kothup, not someone that we talked about a ton yesterday, but maybe just because he was very crisp and he's a very good blocker up at the front that we don't notice him because he's always doing such a good job.
Just got his hands on that one there again. That one was Graham, and Simone goes up. And Tomlinson will have none of that. And we can't talk enough about Mike Tomlinson. He carried his team yesterday, even though they lost. His 24 kills just stands out from both matchups yesterday.
You're so right there. Such a standout and always playing with a lot of strength, even with that block really sealing the deal as Aiden Simone goes up there.
Graham to Koch. This one is saved. But not much Simone could do there as he laid out for that one. Couldn't get it up. And Tyler Shearhorn will go back to serve for the second time in a row.
You gotta love the way that Chris Brunette has the ability to really seal that net on that single block. Just absolutely dominating Koch on that one.
Nice play by Simone there just to get it up. Tomlinson goes up. A huge kill there for Tomlinson. What a start for him. Gets the block, comes back with a dominating kill. Expect to see a lot more of that in this matchup. Simone, Graham. Right there's Kotha, a kill down the middle. Queens has an early 5-4 lead in this first set. Waterloo setter Gibson Graham back to serve for the Warriors. Floats this one over. Back out to Chris Brunette. Gets blocked by Koch and Kotha. Waterloo tying this one at 5. Gibson Graham rolls this one over the net. Right with the back set to Tomlinson. Goes up. Off the block. Another point for Mike Tomlinson. You'll get the scoreboard here at the Birds Gym, and Tomlinson already 4 of his team's 6 points. So doing exactly what he did yesterday.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see the way that teams spread out as Gibson Graham kind of sets out everyone on his team, spread out over the scoreboard, but Tomlinson really is a go-to.
You see there Graham with the back set running towards us here at the desk, and still got that nice back set up. He put a fantastic match yesterday as well as he had 32 assists and 7 digs. Here's Aiden Simone. Serves that one right into the net, giving the Gales the free point. The rookie Chris Brunette back to serve. Floats this one right to Woolley. Graham to Simone, rolls this one over the block. Tomlinson right, the quick to Scott Brunette.
You gotta wonder what Gibson Graham was really thinking there, throwing it back, because you know, that attack really had to formulate. You think he was maybe trying to form up that pipe there for Aiden Simone in the back row.
Woolley up to Graham. And they're gonna get Simone there on the, going over the attack line. He did end up pretty close to the net and seemed pretty blatant over the attack line there.
Yeah, definitely an interesting point of view from the men's match, as a back row hit can resemble one in the front row.
There's Koch, goes up, Brunette there to save it. Tipped over. Graham backs it to Koch. And that's in, a huge kill for Braden Koch there.
Men's volleyball usually about the census, as the ball is usually coming at you so quickly. You got to make that last minute call. Tomlinson was sure it was out, but rather kissed the line.
Kothup sends this one over. Draymov to right, out to Dakic. Off the hands of McConkey. Not much you could do there as he was going over for the block and wasn't close enough to the net to send that one down.
Absolutely. You know, Fraser and I usually talk about this, that phenomenon in sport where if something goes wrong, you usually end up looking at your racket or your hands or your hockey stick or something. You see Koch go up for that block and he just looks at his hands when he comes back down.
There's Simone. Got a nice look there. Brunette passes this one over. Dakic sends the free ball over. Woolley. Graham to McConkey in the middle. Brunette gets it up. Tomlinson saves it. Dakic sends over the free ball again. Simone. Graham. The back set to Koch. Really back and forth first set here at the Burge Gym.
As we said before, the winner of this match will get a berth into the CIS finals. So there's a lot more on the line versus just a bronze medal.
There's Woolley with the back set to Simone. Off of Shearhorn at the net. They get the point. Down by 1 here as Queens leads 10-9. Koch will serve again. Seen some very powerful serves today and yesterday, so it's always something teams will work on. As right, the quick. Shearhorn gets it blocked. Gibson Graham to McConkey. Graham this time to Simone. Tips it over the block. Tomlinson, smart play there. Battle at the net, but they're gonna call Queens for a net violation there.
You gotta love how athletic Greg Simone is. He's really been throwing a lot of balls quite off of the net, but he's managed to do something with it, even with that big block. So even though it did not go in the favor of Waterloo, he's been really formulating some great things tonight.
Strong serve there by Koch, just sails long, but going back to Greg Simone, he has been all over the place, but he still manages to get the ball over the net. Like you said, he's not gonna try and hit as hard as he can right into the block. So smart volleyball moves there by Simone.
Definitely.
And you see Jordan McConkey just make it look easy there in the middle.
As we see Wright move back into position 1, he's kind of got his dream team up here, Drakic, Shearhorn, and Tomlinson. It's hard to say where he's gonna go with this one to win that conversion.
Got up slow after that play, but it's not gonna stop him as he sets this one up to Tomlinson. So powerful, sends it through the block to get the point for the Gales.
Absolutely. You hear the Waterloo coaching staff saying, watch for that X play, as they do have a lot of athletic young individuals here in the front and a shootout to Tomlinson. They have the ability to play a little bit of fun there in the middle.
Daykic with the huge serve. Gibson Graham, the back set to Koch. Huge kill there for Braden Koch, basically countering what Tomlinson can do. See,
absolutely. This is why we covered these two individuals before the match. Brandon Koch just really proving why he has been an individual we have said time and time again has been a huge influence for the Waterloo Warriors.
Here's Wright, the set out to Brunette. Nice up by Koch there. Gets up from the back row, but a little too much adrenaline there as he got a huge up.
Absolutely. You know, it's always tough when the setter can't take that second ball. They have a different sense of volleyball IQ. You know, you got Koch laid out, fully out on the ground. You don't want to set him.
Exactly. This one's out to Aiden Simone. Off of Scott Brunette. It's been back and forth since the start. We're all tied up at 13 here in the Burge Gym. Gibson Graham back to serve. Floats this one over. Passed up by Daykic. Daykic from the back row. Right off of Woolley. Says he's okay, but a powerful hit from Marco Daykic from the back row. Mike Tomlinson throws up the spinner. This one sails long, but you see how high he throws that ball and how much power he puts behind it. That was so close to landing in.
Absolutely. You know, we say this time and time again in men's volleyball, if you don't attack from that baseline when you have the chance and the ball right in your hand, you're going to get something back that you definitely don't want.
Draymov with the pass up right with the back set to Tomlinson. A huge kill from Mike Tomlinson. Just hammering that ball down.
These are those moments when people say, oh, volleyball, that's a girl's sport, right? And I say, get behind a ball that Danny Demyanenko or Tomlinson is hitting. You tell me that again.
So fast, it's hard to even see. And then Greg Simone counters with a kill right at Draymov. Got his hands on it, just couldn't get it up. As so much power. These two teams going back and forth here. You see how much they want to play in the Nationals, which happen here right at McMaster next weekend. Kotha sends a floater over. Draymov to right with the quick to Scott Brunette. A huge kill for Brunette there. Technical timeout here at the Burge Gym. Queens is up 16-15 early on in this first set.
Yeah, you know, no surprise here, 16-15. It's been quite a knife fight out here, going back and forth. You know, we talked about Koch early in the match. We talked about Tomlinson, and that's what it just seems to be. You've got two fabulous setters, Wright and Gibson, up against each other. And, you know, it seems like this game is just so evenly matched. To put them up one, on, for goodness sake, they both have even a brother duo on each side. They're that evenly matched. You know, to put them side by side, it's really hard to say in what direction the end of this game is going to go.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Is pretty evenly matched here. As you look at the stats from yesterday, Jamie Wright had 44 assists in 7 digs, and then you look at what Gibson Graham did in 3 sets. He had 32 assists in 7 digs. And the balls they feed their power hitters, it's just, you can praise what Tomlinson does all the time, but if he doesn't get a perfect set from Wright every time.
Absolutely. You know, that's such a great point. And you know what? That also goes to show the serve receive and their ability to give their setters the ball. 44 assists in one game, that is pretty darn good, okay? Because that means that on the end of that set, there was a kill. So just to look at the stats of Tomlinson and Koch, you can tell that these guys are getting that ball in their hot hands and feeding their tough hitters.
Back underway here, Scott Brunette sends a floater over. Gibson Graham out to Greg Simone. So much power behind that. Tomlinson got his hands on it, but this one just got sent off the wall here.
16-16, Koch's on the baseline now.
Throws up the spinner. Tries to roll that one over, just got caught at the tape, at the net.
You definitely know the intention there as Koch tries to roll it just over, right in the middle, right in front of Wright's hands, rather, as he tries to pull Shearhorn up. That blocks out that middle, gives the blockers the chance to leave, and gives them that chance to make the big block.
Draymond layout for that one, but no can do there. As Waterloo ties this one up at 17, and no team has taken more than a 2-3 point lead in this set. Coming right down to the wire here, Greg Simone. Too much power behind that one, and something you don't want to see in a close set like this is when missed serves start to become a factor.
Absolutely, it's all about opposite team errors, and often during those rallies you kind of just want to recycle it so that you give the other team a chance to make an error. But it's all in your hands at that baseline.
Nice pass up there by Greg Simone. A huge block at the net by Shearhorn, giving Queens a 2-point lead nearing the end of this first set.
Yeah, not something McConkey usually gets is a block in front of him. Shearhorn doing a fabulous job pressing and really squeezing with his abs there.
Dakic looked like mistimed it there, but he still got it up. And Aiden Simone with a huge kill there. When Marco Dakic put that serve over, his timing and his jump looked off there for a second, but still managed to get it over. So here's McConkey with the floater. Right with the quick to Shearhorn. Perfect execution there.
You know, you gotta love the battle of the middles. When you establish that middle so strong, like both these setters have been able to do, they're able to isolate those outside pins.
Simone pass up to Graham. Kothep gets it up. There's Chris Brunette sending it over. Greg Simone saves it again. Aiden Simone goes up, rolls this one over right. Shearhorn sets Tomlinson, tips it, but Graham was ready for that one. Lilly with the set to Koch. Off the top of the net. Point for the Gales as they now take a 3-point lead, 21-18.
You know, 3 points is a big spread at this point in the game. You can't have these guys losing any confidence after something happens. Eyes go up. They've got to be together. They've got to keep that sense of community.
And Wright gets it up. Tomlinson towards the bench. Saves that one. But when that ball got sent towards the Queen's bench, it seemed like all 5 other players gradually went towards it as that Great save by Tomlinson, gets it up, but no one was at the net to send it over.
Always a tough call when you're running for those balls, whether it's just pop them straight up or not.
Great effort there, but Tomlinson comes back, and Gibson Graham gets that one up. And it just rolls off the hand of Greg Simone there. But when you look at that, so much power from Tomlinson. Graham gets it up. I don't know how that didn't hit the roof here at the Burge Gym.
Absolutely. If you've ever been in the Burge, you know how high those ceilings are. That ball coming straight over off the hands of Gibson Graham, almost hitting the ceiling. And you know, it's tough to track, and that's definitely a home side advantage. When you look up at these lights, they are so bright that they can really throw you off. So these guys doing a fabulous job noticing, especially from the service line. All right, so here we are in the timeout. Waterloo trying to catch their breath here, 22-19. And they're trying to find a way to grab this first match. Crazier things have happened. Still a lot of life left.
And when you look at volleyball, it's a game of runs, so you get a point here, get that momentum going for you, and then who knows, an ace, a kill, you start sparking something, and you're right back in this set.
Absolutely. You know, I often think of volleyball as kind of a hand of sand, and if you open your fingers at all, it'll really slip away from you. So we'll see what Tomlinson does here on the baseline.
Powerful serve, gets it up and over. Greg Simone, and Koch sends this one right off the sticks as Queens extends their lead to 4, 23-19. Mike Tomlinson throws this one up, gets it right to Woolley. Graham with the set to Koch. A huge kill for Braden Koch there. Trying to spark his team anyway, anyhow. As Waterloo's only down 3, Aiden Simone will go back to serve. Floats this one deep. Draymov, right, sets Brunette. Just pushes that one over, but it lands wide.
Always a really difficult play there for an outside hitter. You know, they're trying to time things, but if the ball gets a little bit too close and you've got a really big block like Koch and Kothup out there, it's going to be difficult for you to carve around that with no space.
Simone sends that one over and in. An ace for Aiden Simone, and that couldn't have come at a better time.
No, absolutely. We're going to get a timeout here from the Queens side, and you know, we often talk about this, the air currents in the Burge Gym. When you open up those windows up there, there's always a side where the ball soars out, and there's always a side where it drops in. So we call it the ghost of the Burge, and maybe that's affected here by Dramoff just letting that one slide.
And a very strong floater serve there from Aiden Simone. But let's take a look at some highlights from this first set.
No surprise here, a little bit of middle action. And we all remember that one, Tomlinson coming straight down when Aiden Simone goes for it. Tomlinson again.
Even when Waterloo sends up that double block, Tomlinson finds a way around it. He slices it more, heads it down the line more, but even sending him that double block isn't going to stop Tomlinson all the time.
Absolutely, and we'll see if they can stop him now.
And they saved that somehow.
So they always say this, ball never lies. A bit of action here from the Waterloo side. There was quite a curveball there thrown over by Tomlinson. Kind of a tough 1% angle. This is where the controversy lies. You know, late in the set, coaching bench trying to get it go. Eric Woolley, captain of the Waterloo side. Either him or the coaches are getting a yellow card here for opposing the call. And you know, always a tough call. End of the match, Queens gets that point, 23-22. Is that the TSN turning point for this team?
Definitely, as they
just wait to make the serve here. Referees are still making a call on where that yellow card is going, giving everyone a deep breath. We're gonna see a substitution here. Number 3, Dylan Hunt is coming in for right. And that's gotta lead you to wonder where the hand's gonna be.
You see how big that point is, because now Queens with Chris Brunette are serving for the set. Woolley passes up to Graham. The back set to Koch. Gets the point, so that proves how big that point was. Because if that point goes to Waterloo, completely different set right now, as Waterloo could have that 24-23 lead.
Absolutely, and now we have a match point here. Wright is back in. You can tell that substitution was just for a little bit of height in the middle.
Now Trevor Kotha serving to stay in this set. Draymond passes it up right. The back set to Tomlinson. And they're going to get Wright on the double hit there.
And there you go. You got to wonder what the give is here. There's a double call. Rare for these guys, but a double call nonetheless late in this set. Wright getting that violation, and now we're all tied up 24-24.
See which team wants it more here, coming down to the final couple points. And a huge kill there from Marco Dakic. Comes up clutch there, a massive kill. And now you have Scott Brunette, the vet, serving for the set. Floats this one over. Simone gets it up. Willie back to Simone.
Shearhorn jumping in for that set.
Koch sends it up, gets hit, and Woolley sends over the free ball. Right out to Dakic, off the block, and that's a point for the Gales. They take this first set, 26-24, and a very back and forth matchup so far at the Burridge Gym.
So Queens has taken this first set, and no surprise there, had a lot of really big hitters. We saw Drakic right there at the end to taking no regard from, but you know, definitely someone that we have seen a lot from and we have been talking a lot about has been Tomlinson.
And I mean, can't talk enough about him as he's been at the net with his dominating hits, so powerful, and even on the defensive end. He's back there putting in all his effort, laying out for every ball possible, all over on the court. So he's the key factor for the Queens Gales.
He has absolutely been a key factor. And you know, I love the fact that you said that he's laid out on defense as well, because winning games, for sure you need a strong offense, but you gotta have that strong defense, you gotta have those strong blockers, and I feel like in the middle, we've seen a lot from Shearhorn, and McConkey has come back a little bit from that area. So we're just taking a look at the stats here from that first game, and as we see, we usually look at the serving percentages first. We see a lot of errors coming from the Waterloo side, and not as many errors from the Queens. We saw 5 errors serving for Waterloo, and only 1 for Queens. No aces really on either side, 1 for Waterloo, but it seemed nulled out by those errors. You know, that could be where all of this is lying here.
Exactly, especially when you lose a set by 2 points. You look back and you see that you had 5 missed serves, so something you got to improve moving forward in this match.
Absolutely, and another thing, Kyle, you pointed out to me something on the stat sheet. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
When you look at Mike Tomlinson, we talked about how he's all around on the court. He has a game-high 4 digs right now in that first set alone to go along with his 4 kills. So, I mean, we can't talk enough about him. So we'll see how he impacts this Queens team moving forward.
And no surprise here, the Queens Gales have already taken form on the court, as they usually are a quick team to step up and come out on the court. Waterloo Warriors having an extra minute to chat. No surprise there as they look to steal their first win. And we're also seeing from the Queens Gale side, the Brunette brothers. No surprise there. Tyler Shearhorn, as well as Ivo Dramov in the libero side. Tomlinson and Wright with the hands. And no big changes for the Waterloo side, as well as we see Brandon Koch, Eric Woolley, Aiden Simone, Trevor Kotha, Gibson Graham, Jordan McConkey, and Greg Simone, both starting lineups, seeing each other again.
Just like we talked about, a few things both teams will have to fix, so they're not in need of huge changes with the starting lineups. It's just who's going to outpower who's going to make their serve. So we'll see moving forward.
Absolutely. It is all about who is going to outpower who and who is going to make the least mistakes.
Woolley with a nice pass up to Graham. Aiden Simone tips it, but Mike Tomlinson says no. He tips that one back over.
Waterloo giving a little bit of a chat with the referees here. We gotta wonder what that's about. But needless to say, you can't just tip right over Tomlinson. You gotta give it a little bit more height as he really gets up there on that block.
Wright serves this one over. Graham back out to Simone. Doesn't get this one over the net as you saw him try and cut that one more, get it away from Tomlinson. He just couldn't get it over the net there.
It seems as though the Waterloo Warriors are seeming a little bit more deflated than usual at the beginning of this set, maybe after the loss of the last one.
Simone again, this one's off the block. Huge save there from Brunette. Tight to the net, Dakic tips it over. They get the point. Queens is pumped up right now, all the momentum in their favor. And like you said, you look at the Waterloo side of the court and they kind of deflated right now.
Absolutely, it seems as though the Queen Gales are just being very crisp as Wright goes up for that set and breaks the seam of Simone and Woolley. A very quick timeout here in this first set.
Coach didn't like what he saw, and the last thing you want to do is let it continue, and who knows, you could go down 6-7 points, and then against a strong team like Queens, that's a lot more difficult to come back from. So call a timeout early, regroup your guys, give a little motivation into them, let them kind of remind them what's on the line here, then who knows.
Absolutely, you want them to rally around each other because at the end of the set, if you're down by 4, it could have just been that little slump at the beginning of the set here. So both teams come out, they're ready to get started right in position 1, the best place to be, especially when you look at Drakic, Tomlinson, and Shearhorn up at the front. You kind of want to keep that form.
Love being a setter when you have all those options like that. And what a way to come out of the timeout for Waterloo as Jordan McConkey gets a kill for the Warriors, trying to battle back after that early 4-point deficit. McConkey after that kill serves this one over. Right to Dakic. Gets the kill. Queens goes up 5-1. And like you were saying earlier, when Wright is in that position 1 spot, so many options.
So many options, especially when you have a Brunette brother in the back and they've both been well trained in doing that pipe ball. Dakic
sends this one into the net. That was kind of our main storyline at the end of the first set, was missed serves. Queens only had 1, so 1 early on. We'll see how Waterloo comes back from that to take advantage of it. There's Dakic flying from the back row. Woolley gets it up, and Simone sends the free ball over. Dramov to Wright, the quick. A huge kill right there for Shearhorn.
You know, something that I love watching about this Queens offense is it is very, very quick. And, you know, the faster you can run that offense with tall guys like this, the more attention you're going to have on the offense. Shearhorn absolutely running flawlessly on that one.
And Aiden Simone counters with a kill of his own. As Queens doubling up Waterloo early on, 6-3.
And it will be noted to mention the women's OUA Final Four have just started 6 p.m. in the Toronto gym right now as Toronto takes on McMaster Marauders.
Strong play there from Greg Simone at the net. See how frustrated Queens is there as the pass up was too tight to net, and Greg Simone all day, every day, he's going to make the most of that.
Absolutely. And they shorten the gap here, only 2 to come back.
Dramov gets it up, right to Brunette, just sends it over. Gibson Graham, the back set to Koch. Down the line, another kill for Koch as Waterloo climbs back into this first set.
Gibson Graham has probably been loving this, been getting a lot of really great passes after that timeout, giving them the opportunity to set up Koch where he wants him.
Dramov to Wright, the back set to Tomlinson. Off the block there, nice play by the Warriors. Brunette goes up, this one's blocked as well. Dakic out to Tomlinson. Tight to the net. And Scott Brunette sends that one down. Good rally there as both teams fought for that point really well, and Scott Brunette at the net, just like Greg Simone did a few points ago, sends that one down to give Queens the 2-point lead.
You gotta love that control and those fundamentals, Scott Brunette, making sure he's not touching the net on that one.
Tomlinson sends the spinner over, nice pass up. Smart play by there to let, as Graham watched that one go. And right with the back set, Tomlinson from the back row. And Coke goes up on 2. Graham with the set, out to Simone. Brunette sets up right, back row, Dakic. Huge play by Marco Dakic.
Holy cow, you gotta see a lot of effort in that one. These two teams fighting tooth and nail for this win. You know, resembling a lot of those long rallies we usually see in women's volleyball. These guys are so close head to head. There's gonna be a bit of exhaustion here at the end of this match for sure.
They know what's at stake at the end of this match. So both teams fighting hard. Tomlinson sends it over. Graham to Simone, comes flying from the back row. Good sportsmanship there by Simone to make sure Tomlinson's fine as that one got him up high. Kotha sends the floater over. Nice pass up by Dakic. Scott Brunette sends it up, but a net violation will be called on the Warriors. The rookie Chris Brunette back to serve for the Gales. Puts that one right into the net. The second serving error of this set so far for the Gales.
Always a tough call when you go back to the baseline. I mean, if you're going to do a topspin ball, you got to bring the power, but on those floaters, you're really trying to get it between the top of that antenna and the top of the tape.
And a huge ace there for Coke. And you see how effective that spinner is.
Absolutely, he absolutely carved between Dramoff and Drakic there. Picking off that seam.
She throws it up again. Simon looked like he threw it too far in front of him there as that one goes right into the net. And that's the thing about the spinner serve. It's so effective, but so risky at the same time. Is if you mistime your jump, mistime your throw the slightest bit, won't be as effective. As Graham bum sets it to Simone. Scott Brunette saves it right out to Dakic. A huge block there. McConkey and Graham got up for that one.
Really tough. Dakic doing a very long approach there from behind the attack line, kind of leading him straight into the block of McConkey.
McConkey waiting at the net a while for that one. Simone sends that one over. Nice play there by Wright to fight it off and send it over.
What a pancake there from the Brunette brother in the back, but it's flubbed into the net, unfortunately, by Tomlinson. You gotta hate that, eh? When you spread out, you do that full effort, and it doesn't even manage to get over.
Especially when you look at the 6'6" Brunette, sprawled out for that one, got it up. And
there you go, we're all tied up 10-10 here.
nice pass up there, right to Dakic. Fooled the Warriors there with the block as Dakic went up and saw what every power hitter loves to see. No block right in front of you, so he just sent that one home.
So this is what we were looking at before. Right in the back row, you have the Waterloo staff saying, watch that X as Dakic comes in and really rallies that one.
The third service error of the match for the Gales, so that's something Waterloo has been capitalizing on. They only have one service error so far. So McConkey sends this one over. Right out to Tomlinson from the other side this time. Simone, Graham, and the other Simone comes flying in for the kill. And if you look at the scoreboard, the Waterloo Warriors have now taken the lead. Down 4-zip early on. Nice timeout call by the coach to regroup his guys, and it seems to be working out so far.
Absolutely.
Here's Wright, out to Tomlinson again. And Graham goes up. Blocks Shearhorn, who tried to get it over in 2. Out to Tomlinson. This time gets sent over by McConkey. Great defense there. Right, the quick to Shearhorn. Greg Simone gets it up. McConkey lays out for it, but not much he could do there as that ball went sailing fast towards the back wall here at the Burge Gym.
You gotta love Tomlinson's effort coming forward as he gave that soft roll initially and saw what Dakic could send back at him. Not this time.
You see Wright loves to feed Tomlinson. Here's Graham with the quick. Kothup goes up and gets the kill. Wright, he loves to set Tomlinson even on the same rally. He sets him once. Waterloo gets the ball back over. Right back out to Tomlinson. So you see who his favorite weapon is. And this one's saved by the Gales. Somehow they get it up, but then Aiden Simone gets it over. Wright saves it towards the crowd, and Dakic sends the free ball over. Woolley, Graham, out to Simone. Again, Dramov, so strong in the back row, getting all those balls up.
Yeah, really good effort there, sending him right into the crowd. You could see the effort that Tomlinson kind of put forward just to direct the ball back in the right direction towards the Waterloo side, but no luck on that one.
The other setter, Gibson Graham, sends this one up, and Aiden Simone hammers that one down. He's going to make the most of those points every single time they come his way. Right at Dramov. Goes through his hands, and now Waterloo is pumped up, has the momentum. And that's not something you usually see from your libero. Your sure hands in the back row. But you know, a veteran like Dramov, he's not going to let it affect him. He's going to come back and just get the next one. It's Dramov, the fourth year captain, isn't going to let a little slip up there get behind him. He's just going to get past it, move on to the next serve.
Yeah, as we always say, volleyball is a sport of emotions, and as these emotions go up and down, we saw the Queens Gales early lead 4-0, a little bit of a change up. Waterloo now in the lead. Kyle, what do you think was the determining factor? What do you think was the number one thing that led that shift in power, that shift in momentum?
I think you got to look at the errors on Queens side as well. As you look, they were almost flawless in that first set, and then now they've missed a few points, and it's mainly Waterloo. I think after that timeout, they saw what was at stake, saw what could happen when things don't go their way, so they made the most out of those errors on Queens, and now look at the scoreboard.
Absolutely, it's all about doing what you can on your own side, because that's all you can control. And as we look to the Waterloo side, Gibson Graham in position 1 and at the service line.
Nice serve there is Wright with the backs to Tomlinson, and he's stuffed by Kothup and Simone. And when you look at it, Queens was up 4-0. Now it's 17-12. So since that timeout, Waterloo has went on a 17-8 run. Passed up by Dakic. Wright with the backset to Tomlinson. This one is saved again. Wright, this time to Brunette. Right at Graham in the back row, and he got one up. Couldn't get the second one up, but you just see how much power the rookie Chris Brunette possesses. He's now in the front row with his brother and Tomlinson.
You gotta love that. Just saving your face sometimes can save you a point as well.
Graham with the backset to Simone. Another kill for Aiden Simone. Waterloo takes an 18-13 lead in this second set.
And that rotation, you've got a lot of open defense. Setter back in one, not always the strongest passer, as well as Shearhorn coming in from the middle position. So a lot of area for Aiden Simone to hit on his offensive play there.
Wright saves that one. Tomlinson just sends it over. Graham with the back set. Simone gets blocked. This one lands out of bounds. As you see Chris Brunette, after that hit his hands, he looked at his hands, looked at himself, and was just like, thought what he could do differently to get the point for the Gales.
Absolutely. Sometimes twitch reactions, you just go up, but if your hands aren't in the right space in that blocking position, you become a liability.
Dramov gets it up right. He's going to get called for a double hit again. The second time in this match he's been called for that. And
see Brenda Willis walk back to his bench here, taking out number 14, a brunette brother. Going in for him, Zach Hutchinson. He's also a first year, so first year, we saw a little bit of him yesterday, and he definitely showed up when he got the opportunity.
He had 2 kills and 3 digs yesterday, so he played well. And Wright gets stuffed by Coath up there. And Tomlinson goes up, rolls it over the block. Coath gets it up. Graham called off Simone there, but the other setter, Gibson Graham, will get called for the double hit there.
Surprising to see. It seems as though we're going 1 for 1, but it is 2014 in favor of Waterloo. We'll see what Tomlinson can bring from the baseline.
Know how much power he possesses with this serve. He goes up, gets this one over. Gibson Graham. Miscommunication there as they were off target. But here's Wright. Says Scott Brunette. That one's out. But you see Mike Tomlinson, how smart he is, just talking to his team. He's a 5th-year veteran, so you saw how upset the team got. But the vet Mike Tomlinson brings them together, tells them it's fine, we can work through this. So Draymond with a nice set. Right to Hutchison. And
Hutchinson, a first year, really taking advantage of anything he can get.
Trying to make the most of his opportunity. When he gets time on the court, he's not going to waste any of it. So nice to see him make an instant impact in this match. And he goes behind the service line. And he just misses that corner with the spinner.
Koch on the baseline looking to seal this set up with a 3-point spread here until the finish of the set.
Right out to Dakic. A huge block there by McConkey. Went up with Gibson Graham. A huge block forces the Gales to call a timeout as Waterloo leads 23-15, dominating this second set.
And I would absolutely agree, they are dominating this set. Even though there have been a little bit of lulls of communication, they've managed to come out on top. A couple of hits, Dakic hitting one out by accident. There have been a couple conversions that definitely didn't go in favor of the Queens Gales tonight. So Waterloo has had the opportunity to capitalize on all of those chances.
Let's take a look at what Braden Koch has been doing in this match as he's played fantastic at the net and even at this, behind the service line, as you see how strong he is there, and even defensively. So he's countering Tomlinson really well. Tomlinson all around, all over the court. Braden Koch all over the court. So he throws up the spinner here. That one's long. So Gales get a point, trying to get anything they can to get back into this one. Scott Brunette serves the floater over. Simone, Graham, right to McConkey. And Wright saves this one. And Tomlinson sends the free ball over, just gets it over. And Shearhorn tips it, and didn't expect that from Tomlinson. I expect that to go a little deeper. That one just got over the net.
A bit of an unorthodox play there by Tomlinson. Just a one-handed play, but sometimes it just goes to show if you recycle it, the opponent might make a mistake.
Good things will happen when you get the ball over. Simone goes up, off the block, a point for the Warriors. Because now Greg Simone will go back to serve for the second set. Gets quiet here in the Burge gym as Simone goes up, and that's an ace. That one paints the line. And the Waterloo Warriors win the second set 25-17. Pretty dominating fashion. They're pumped up. They're about to run to the other bench as the team switched sides here, and the referee had to stop him as he didn't blow his whistle and give him the okay to go. You just see how pumped up and excited this Warriors team is.
And we are going to see a quick highlight pack from that last set that we saw. A lot of very good things from the Waterloo team as Greg Simone sealed up the deal at the very end there. But we're going to see a lot of strong things throughout the middle. I'm going to say that if Queens can recapitalize on their middle, if they can reseal up that block, we're going to see a bit of a closer match than we did. But the Simone brothers absolutely dominating this Waterloo side.
When you have a head coach like Brenda Willis with her 29th season with the Queens Gale, she knows what to do. I'm sure she's going to tell the team and change something up, as this Queens team was the 2011-12 OUA champions. So
they absolutely were. You know, Brenda Willis, someone to be reckoned with. She has a lot of volleyball knowledge, you know, and for her ability to command the respect of all of these men, it really is something amazing. And we're going to look at the stat sheet that we just got from this last set here. No surprise here, Tomlinson with 19 total attacks, 4 kills. But a big split here, you know, we're seeing a lot more from Drakic now. 8 kills for him. And that's a bit more of a lopsided play for them in terms of the other side.
And when you do look at the stats, you see Mike Tomlinson ended the first set with 4 kills on 7 total attacks. And he ends the second set with 4 kills on 19 attacks. So it looks like Waterloo found a way to stop him.
Absolutely, they did. And there's no surprise here. We see a big spread for Aiden Simone. You know, he was absolutely a force to be reckoned with, as well as his brother, Greg Simone, and a good spread out to Brendan Koch too. So it seems as though the Waterloo side has had the ability to kind of spread out their offense a little more, be a little bit less predictable, which has made them have a very big spread in their arsenal. So we're going to see these guys walk out on the court right now. No surprise here from that lineup from Waterloo.
After teams are even after those first 2 sets, it looks like we're going to have a little best of 3 action here in the OUA bronze medal game. Winner not only gets a bronze medal, but they earn a berth in the CIS Nationals, which happen right here in Hamilton next weekend.
All tied up 1-1 here. Each team walking in with a win on their scoreboard. And so this just goes to show this set is going to be more important than anything here tonight, because it's going to set a precedent. It's going to give one of these teams a little bit of a sense of a comfort level. There's going to be no comfort level until someone walks out with a W. Greg Simone starting us up here on the baseline for Waterloo.
Looks to get things going again, trying to continue the success they had in that second set. Sends over the spinner.
Seems as though he continued his success from the baseline as he finished last set with an ace. Might as well start this one off with 1 too, eh?
You see Draymov in the back row frustrated as the rookie Chris Burnett went to his right a little too much, as Draymov was ready for that one. So we'll see how they come back to that as Dakic sends it up. Draymov calls everyone off. Dakic goes up. A touch is called.
You know, you gotta love that. That's when everything beautiful happens. Full control, Draymov really calling everyone off, making that set nice and easy. That's where volleyball fundamentals really come into play, even in a game at this high skill.
Exactly, you can never forget your fundamentals.
Like getting the ball over the net on your serve.
Exactly. Another service error for Queens. Is the first set they were pretty flawless, only missing 1, but ever since then the service errors have added up. As McConkey serves this one over right to Dakic. Right, the back set to Tomlinson. Nice play there by Koch. See a bunch of smiles on the faces of the Gales as Tomlinson jumped for that one, and I think he knew that one was going to land out of bounds.
Absolutely, making that call, just have the blockers press on him, but really he knows it's just soaring off his left shoulder.
Simone passes this one up, and Koch comes flying in, gets the huge kill there. Braden Koch has been playing fantastic in this match. It's his 8th kill so far. It's the setter Gibson Graham serves this one over. He has 26 assists so far through 2 sets. And Dakic puts his hand on that one. The Warriors will get the point. Waterloo up 4-2 here early on in this third set. Sends this one over.
Dramoff unable to handle the heat of that serve. He's definitely going to need some redemption here to relay that confidence, but Gibson Graham, I don't think is going to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
We'll see where Graham serves here if he wants to attack Dramoff again. And he does, but see that veteran presence by Dramoff, aware of where that back line is.
Always that debate, you're either going for a high shoulder or a left toe, but you know what? It looks as though the Waterloo side has really tried to isolate Dramoff opposed to taking out a hitter in that relay play. It's all about getting that libero off confidence.
And Koch goes up. He just pushes that one, but sends it right down into the net, but he's called for the lift there. Queens back in this one. He's only down 5-4. Tomlinson back up again. And that is in. An ace for Mike Tomlinson there. Painted the sideline here at the Burge Gym. The timeout is called by Waterloo. Chris Lawson really knows when to call a timeout and when to settle this team down. It's his 9th year with the Warriors, and when he called the timeout early on in that second set, it seemed to benefit the Warriors really well. So
absolutely, you know, you don't want to let anything go at all. You don't want to see anything unravel. And it seems as though for the Waterloo side, they want to try and capitalize on that power, on that energy that they had last set. And they don't want to give Queens any lead here into this third set, as it is the most important one right now.
Zach, whoever can win this set takes a very commanding 2-1 lead in this match. But both teams are back on the court. Tomlinson throws up the spinner. Nice pass up by Simone. Out to Koch. A huge kill right there for Braden Koch. And when he goes up, the only block up there was the setter Jamie Wright for the Gales.
Yeah, and that's exactly where you want to isolate. Over top of the shortest blocker, usually that will be the setter in the front row. And no surprise on both teams, that's the case.
Dramoff with a nice pass up to Wright.
Wow.
And the quick to Scott Brunette there. What a play for the Gales.
Really great intuition there by Wright. He absolutely just goes over his right shoulder. He had his back to the net, feeling out where his middle was. Gotta love that play.
The rookie Chris Brunette sends this one over. Graham out to Simone, gets stuffed. And Woolley sends that one out wide. The Gales take a 7-6 lead. Chris Brunette sends the floater short. Simone gets it up. Graham right there. Tomlinson gets it over. Daykic goes up. Off the block. Another point for the Gales.
You know, Daykic has had a couple of blocks against him, but he's doing a fabulous job right now of using the opportunity of that block. He has a very high volleyball IQ and the ability to see that in front of him when he gets the chance.
Woolley passes it up. Out to Koch off the block. Dramoff sends it up right. Tomlinson comes flying in, gets stuffed. This one's tight towards the net. Scott Brunette tried to get that one up there as both players at the net were just staring at each other, waiting for that ball to come down.
Always a tough call when you go up for that joist there. You really have to get your timing right, but it seems as though the Brunette brother kind of just timed it wrong and had it fall right in front of him.
Dramoff with the nice pass up right. The quick to Scott Brunette, and that's exactly how you redeem yourself.
Absolutely. Full redemption there. Right, seeing that Brunette needed a chance to just blow off some steam, and that he did.
Now he's back behind the service line. Serves this one over right to Simone. The back set to Koch. Tomlinson saves it right to right. And Daykic goes up. Gets blocked, but he was ready for that one. Tomlinson tips it over. Greg Simone with great reach there. And Daykic tips it. Greg Simone just everywhere now. And Koch goes up off the block again. A net violation on the Gales. you look at Simone. He's on the left side of the court, getting a tip. Runs all the way over to the right side of the court, gets another tip.
Absolutely, such an engaged player, and you know, for his height, he is 6'4". You wouldn't even guess it, but he has the hang time of someone who is jumping just to survive. This guy is definitely one of the most athletic ones on the Waterloo side.
Nice up there by Dramov, and Dakic goes up. Woolley gets it up. Graham, the set, Simone. A huge kill for Simone. That ball was very high. He composed himself, was waiting for it, timed it perfectly, and painted the far line here. This one's knotted up at 9. Braden Koch playing a fantastic match. Back to serve. Throws up the spinner. Brunette gets it up right with the back set to Tomlinson. A huge block there for Jordan McConkey at the net.
This is going to be a big part of the offense, and success for the Waterloo side is shutting down the strength of Tomlinson from the outside.
Koch throws up the spinner again. Nice pass up by Dramov, right out to Dakic.
Sending the ball here over to us in the reporter stand here. These guys are just going for it.
10-10 is the score. Setter Jamie Wright back to serve for the Gales. Nice floater there, but Greg Simone gets it up. Gibson Graham with the back set to Koch. Down the line there, another kill for Braden Koch.
And as we look up at the points for Braden Koch, he has 13. No surprise there. 13 kills all to himself early in this third set.
A game high 13 points. And when you look at Tomlinson, he's kind of shut down since that first set. He had 4 of the first 6 points for the Gales, and now he has 8 points through 3 sets. So
always debating where that hot hand is for sure. Drakic has seemed to be very hot in this set here, so maybe it's a debate of whether Wright is trying to spread out that offense, trying to be a bit less predictable, or maybe get your horn in the middle here.
It's always good when you have someone like Dakic you can turn to when Tomlinson isn't as hot as he normally is. So a lot of weapons on this Queen's side. And McConkey goes up for the block, does not agree with the call as that ball landed right at his feet. He was right there, but referee has the best view there, and he calls that one out. Dakic composes himself before he serves, sends over the powerful floater, but Woolley gets it up. The quick to McConkey, tight to the net again. A little miscommunication there for a second between Simone and McConkey as McConkey looked at Simone, and Simone.
Tomlinson goes up there for the ball. It seems as though he wanted to keep it on his side, but Aiden Simone being very aggressive on the top of the tape.
Dramov with another nice pass up to right, and Dakic comes flying from the back row. Didn't put as much power on that one, but still as effective.
Absolutely, just really seeing the hole in the pot there. Dakic using everything in his arsenal and tool belt tonight.
Shearhorn gets this one over. Simone passes it up. Nice play there in the back row, and Brunette sends it over. Gibson Graham across to Aiden Simone. Strong play by Tomlinson just to get it up. You see Dakic come flying to send the tip over. Right with the back set to Tomlinson. That one's off the hands of Koch, and it's nice to see Tomlinson get a point. It's been a while for him to get back on the score sheet.
Shearhorn in the back now, leaving a bit of a defensive vulnerability, but a great serve dropping right in front of Simone.
Scott Brunette sets Tomlinson, who tips it. Aiden Simone gets it up. Greg Simone back to Aiden Simone. Stuffed at the net by the duo of Scott Brunette and Mike Tomlinson. So look at the scoreboard now. Queens extends their lead to 3 as they're up 15-12. Aiden Simone passes it up right to Graham. Back out to Aiden Simone. And Mike Tomlinson goes up for the huge solo block. And when you take a look at it, you see Waterloo started to pick on Ivo Dramov in the back row a bit. He kind of had a few balls go through his hands, but he's picked it up lately. A couple perfect passes up the right, which are leading to these kills for the Gales.
Absolutely. As we talk about liberos less, it seems as though that's when they get better. When you're in the back row playing defense and we're not talking about you, that's usually because you're doing such a great job. It's everything else is getting noticed. Dramov doing a fabulous job here in the third set, really setting up right and giving him the opportunities to look around, see Drakic, see Tomlinson, and then have that chance to make some of those great plays in the middle, as we just are seeing on this highlight reel here. Gotta love that connection between the middle here and right. 16-12 at the advantage of the Queens Gales.
Queens has a 4-point lead here, and when you saw the highlight pack, you see Dramov in the back row, and he fights for those passes, and he gets it up. Queens got the point on 3 of those, so you see what happens when you get a nice pass up, especially from someone like your libero. Scott Brunette at the net is gonna help you out on the kills department. This serve skims over the net. Graham back out to Aiden Simone. A huge kill there. Waterloo's trying to get back into this one. They're down 3 in this third set.
Back in the comfort zone, Gibson Graham in position 1. And you gotta love that, right through the middle, right to a Burnett brother. You know, that's where the success is gonna lie. If these guys can keep that service crisp, if Dramov can keep his guys tight in the back and seal up those seams, they're gonna have that opportunity to run that middle.
Mike Tomlinson, the big powerful southpaw, goes up to serve. This one lands wide. So that's exactly what you want to do if you're Waterloo. Capitalize on the mistakes that Queens makes. The free points they give you, you want to expand on those and use the momentum you get from that and fight back into this third set. Aiden Simone sends this one. Dakic gets it up. Dramov right to Chris Brunette.
You gotta love that. You have a strong hitter leaving on the outside, 2 blockers vacate. Aiden Simone being such a strong defensive player, coming up to really get that strong hit. But as he leaves, he's also leaving a pot available. A lot of space for Woolley to cover, but it was not covered.
Gibson Graham to Koch, who just sends it over. Draymond passes up to right, the quick to Scott Brunette. And Scott Brunette is getting it going in this third set. But let's go back a point to what his brother Chris Brunette did. Made a very veteran move from the rookie, so it's nice to see when your first years learn so quickly from the vets of this Queens Gales team. Tomlinson goes up, and he gets a huge kill there. As Queens takes a 20-14 lead, forcing Chris Lawson to call a timeout for the Warriors, who just seem out of it towards this third set.
Absolutely, you can't let those lulls go. 6-point spread here already. These guys are coming out, you know, we're taking a look right now on the Queens bench, and you gotta wonder what Brenda Willis is telling them. You know, she's telling them to keep it calm, but then we look at the Waterloo bench, and now we're just basically saying, what's Chris Lawson gonna say? He's gonna say something like, we need to key Aiden Simone, we need to be strong in the defense, we need to run that middle, we gotta be strong in the baseline. There's a lot of things that are happening right now that just need to be a bit crisper. You know, and with a spread of 6 points, if you let them get ahead in those 20-point margins, you know, it's gonna be very difficult to come back from that.
And it's nearing the end of this third set here, so whatever he told them, they gotta do, and they gotta do quick. Skoke goes up, gets the huge hit, and that one landed pretty close to the line. That one got sent back over in 1 for the Gales.
Koth up here at the back, ready to even the playing field, 20-15.
Sends it over. Draymond with a nice pass up to right. Sends it out to Dakic off the block. Simone gets it up. Gibson Graham to Greg Simone. Sends this one deep, but Tomlinson gets it up. Right to Dakic again. This one's blocked off the hands of McConkey and Koch, and they turned the wrong way when looking for that one off the block.
You know, you can tell that the Waterloo side is a little bit frazzled here. Gibson Graham running in to get that set. Aiden Simone also running in. You know, he's got to call him off early. He's got to trust that his setter is going to be there.
McConkey goes up, gets a quick point for the Warriors.
You know, McConkey's been very successful throughout this whole game thus far. If they can get that defense up, that serve receive crisp, and they can set him up, I think they'll see a bit more success.
Koch throws up the spinner. Nice pass up there, right out to Dakic. Perfect pass up by Woolley. Greg Simone goes up, powers it through the block. Draymond gets this one over. Gibson Graham with the back set to Koch. Chris Brunette gets this one up right with the back set to Tomlinson. And this one gets saved. Gibson Graham out to Greg Simone. Goes up, and that one is long. What a rally here at the Burge, Jim.
Absolutely. You know, you always wonder, these guys go back, they blow a serve right up the back, and it always feels like these ones are worth so much more.
And you see just
a yellow card going to the Queen's side here for number 1, Dramov. Maybe giving a little bit of sass to the referee bench, earns himself a yellow card.
I don't know why theirs. Queens got the point after that insane rally with players going all out in the back row. You see how much power these huge hitters have, and not even just getting it up perfectly to your setter. But here's Aiden Simone, passed it up to Greg Simone. And Mike Tomlinson was waiting for that Greg Simone hit there as he was way up. Felt like he just stayed in the air forever there. As the Queens has a 23-16 lead. Gibson Graham to McConkey. Draymond gets it up. Dakic to Tomlinson. This one is saved. Woolley comes towards the benches. Plays it calmly, and Simone sends it over. Shearhorn tipped. And it's saved. Never mind, not saved there, as it looks like Waterloo got it up. Great effort from Woolley there, laying out for that one. And it looks like Gibson Graham has a little cut.
You definitely want to be careful with those ones. You know, all the student staff here really supportive. Definitely a shout out to all student med staff. You know, all of these kids, they're all volunteers, usually in the kinesiology program. I know MAC, all of their kids are, and they all qualify and follow these teams around all season, doing a fabulous job of quickly getting Gibson Graham set up and ready to play in this match point.
They just had a little cut there, but great to be, like you said, the students on top of it, know exactly what to do, so there's no delay or no substitutions needed in this match. As Woolley passes it up, tight to the net, and McConkey with the kill. What a play by Gibson Graham to jump up, get the one-handed set up and save it. And
gotta love those one-handed sets. These guys are so athletic. They just have the ability to get under the ball there.
It's Greg Simone serving to stay alive in this set. Nice pass up by the rookie Brunette. Sends this one to Tomlinson off the block. Woolley plays this one to Simone, and he just sends that one long. Queens wins this third set by a score of 25-17. The Queens faithful in the crowd giving them a nice round of applause as they're one set away from a berth in the national championships.
You know, and that means a lot. The national championships hosted here at MAC will see the best of the best, the top in Canada. See who will be named the best team in Canada. And the Queens Gales are definitely among that class. You know, these guys have been playing lights out. Strong blocking we've seen, strong swings we've seen, a good spread over top of all of offense. And you know, it's no surprise here that these guys have won this second set. This third set, rather.
Queens up 2-1 after 3 sets, but let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be back soon.
Athletes are born, where records are broken, where tradition is celebrated, where great plays are made. where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail. Ontario University Athletics, where great sport lives.
I don't know why this photo, more than anything, I think, sticks with me for my memories of it.
She just looked up at me and she said, "I really love the new house, Mommy."
Would you give up that memory for money?
I wouldn't give that up for any amount of money.
It's too close to the heart.
A comprehensive financial plan and an Investors Group consultant will help get more out of your money so you can get more out of life.
Back here at the Birds Gym in Hamilton. You see Queens back on the court. Teammates talking to each other. They know what could happen if they win this fourth set.
They absolutely do know what happens if they win this first set. Now we're going to look at a couple of highlights from last set as we prep for this fourth one here. You know, Queens Gales really taking every opportunity here. And we see Tomlinson, no surprise there, setting the Waterloo Warriors on their heels. And Tomlinson again on the outside. He's been so strong on blocking as well as swinging. But again, very strong middle coming from the Queens Gales. Wright and Brunette having a very strong connection in this last match.
Someone else who stepped up was Scott Brunette for the Gales. He played really well in that third set.
Absolutely. You know, you watch these guys from an overhead perspective and you lose sight of how tall they are. Scott Brunette standing at 6'8", and this guy can jump, so he's definitely a force to be reckoned with here on the offense for the Queens Gales. And as we step into the fourth match, we see these guys get all set. Woolley come in and join the Waterloo Warriors, and Dramoff come in and join the Queens Gales. And it could be just one before we see who's going to be off into the CIS Championship. Queens Gales start with the ball here, and Wright is in position one, the place he loves to be, as he has Shearhorn, Drakic, and Tomlinson here in the front for him.
Three players who have been on fire in this match. We're underway. Gibson Graham sets this one up, and Koch just sends it over. Tomlinson to Wright, out to Dakic. A huge kill for Dakic, and that's exactly the way you want to start if you're the Queens Gales.
Absolutely. Dakic has been a force to be reckoned with on the Queens side as they've been starting to key more on Tomlinson. You know, it's an awesome opportunity for Wright to have all of these strong players to go to on the offense.
Simone's hit skips off the net there. And Dakic sends the tip over. Woolley to Graham. The back set to Koch goes up off of Wright's hand. He looked to be in position there, just couldn't get that ball up as Waterloo comes back. Ties this one at 1.
All set to go. Kothep in the back, leaving a bit of a vulnerability maybe on the defense. We're going to see what Queens does with that.
Nice floater serve there. Right, the quick gets stuffed right there by McConkey. Now Tomlinson goes up. Gibson Graham to Simone, off the block. Dramoff lays out for it in the back row. What a play for Simone. Kothep now back to serve for the Warriors. Dramoff passes it up tight to the net, and he just sends the free ball over. It's a bit frustrated out there. Graham sent McConkey there for the quick. That one just sailed long, but they talk it over after. See what went wrong there, just to work on for the next play. They love that little quick in the middle. Dakic sends over the spinner, nice up there. Gibson Graham with the back set to Koch. A huge kill for Koch. Sends it right at the setter, Jamie Wright. Koch sends up the spinner. This one sails right over the net. And Chris Brunette goes up. Gets blocked off his head and sent back over onto the Waterloo side of the court. Simone tips it right to Brunette. Right, the backset to Tomlinson. That one is out, but a point for the Gales as Waterloo was on the net there.
Really tough one. Tomlinson laid out right on his back there. Wright's gonna have to keep him inside. Tomlinson swinging with his left means he's gonna need a little bit more space. Waterloo definitely contesting that call though.
And it's funny to see how that point worked out. As Brunette went up to hit it, got blocked, but it hit him right in the head and the ball went over. Little miscommunication there between Koch and Woolley, but they get it up and over. Brunette goes up. This one is stuffed. Dakic back out to Brunette. Stuffed again.
Shearhorn being a strong support there on the defense.
And Wright goes up, sets Tomlinson off the block, and a point for the Gales. So nice to see Wright, such a smart setter, mix it around, gave it to Brunette twice, got blocked, had the blockers on this side of the court, sends it all the way across court to Tomlinson.
Absolutely, spreading out his offense.
Simone passed up to Graham, to McConkey, and Wright, the back set to Tomlinson, tips it, Woolley right there. Back set to Koch, gets stuffed, Simone goes up, McConkey blocked, Gibson Graham sets Simone, a huge block there for Mike Tomlinson. Two fifth-year vets, Tomlinson and Scott Brunette, went up for the block. Hear the crowd get into it there. Queens is up 5-3. Nice serve there. Gibson Graham out to Simone. Shearhorn gets it up. Out to Brunette. Off the block, but this one goes over. Tomlinson goes up with Brunette there, and you see the adrenaline start pumping for both of them. They both wanted that one, and they both went up for it. And
absolutely, when you get those strong fights up at the net, it becomes pretty vicious, and these guys really want to capitalize on every opportunity. You know, they're going up to attack, but they're also going up to block, and that's what Brunette comes back and says to Brennan Willis here as he realizes what he should have done. But as they make that conversion, Aiden Simone is on the baseline ready to hand them the ball.
that's just what happens when you have two fifth-year guys who really want it, and sometimes they let the adrenaline get the best of them. But Queens is an experienced team. They're not going to let a small point like that get in.
Absolutely, and speaking of letting the adrenaline get ahead of them, Aiden Simone blowing that one up the back, giving it back to the Queens Gales as Tomlinson takes it from the baseline.
When you're in the position that the Warriors are in now, you can't give Queens any free points. What a powerful serve by Tomlinson.
Holy cow.
Forcing Waterloo just to send the free ball over. And Woolley picks up the quick by Brunette. And Greg Simone goes up and picks that corner out perfectly.
Gramov gonna need to set up a better position on the defense there. It looked like not much effort on that one, but the ball's coming so quickly from offense. Hard to say which way he needs to dive.
Exactly, when you're in your set spot like that, it's a split-second decision and you can't think about it at all. And Dakic comes flying from the back row. McConkey to Simone off the block. Draymond lays out for it. But another point for the Warriors. You see when they get into their little huddle after they get the point, they're pumped up. You see how bad they want this, as this is a must-win set for the Warriors.
Absolutely, Kyle. This is a must-win set as the Queens Gales took the first two with their potential of winning the bronze and a berth to the CIS championships.
See Chris Brunette go up off the block, a point for the Gales. And when you're a rookie like Chris Brunette, it's nice having your brother on the team too, who's a fifth-year vet, but when you look around, everyone else on the court is a veteran, so no better way to learn from Brunette and all the rookies on the Gales than to have Tomlinson, Scott Brunette, all teaching you the ways.
The ways of OUA volleyball.
And what a counter right there from Braden Koch. Comes flying in to get the kill for the Warriors. And what's been a back and forth fourth set here at the Burge Gym. Gibson Graham with the nice floater there. Right, back row to Tomlinson. That one sails long. So the Warriors take an 8-7 lead in this set.
A bit of a change up there. The Warriors taking the lead. Gibson Graham here on the baseline. You got to wonder what's going through Wright's mind.
Pass up by Brunette. Draymond with the backset to Dakic. What a hit for Dakic there, and what a play for Draymond to step up as he saw he was in the better position to set up one of the hitters. And it's always good when you have that communication and connection between the setter and the lib, as Wright didn't go out of his way to try and force something. As
Absolutely.
Coke goes up, gets a huge kill there.
You know, no surprise in that play. When you ever have a middle go back to serve, they're always creating a small vulnerability in that back row. Coke seeing that, going a strong cross court at the Brunette brother. Big guy on top. Hard to get down for that defense.
Simone right to Draymond with a nice pass up. Dakic goes up, blocked. Great effort by Draymond to try and get that one up.
Draymond really spreading out for that one. Gives you an opportunity just to take a deep breath as he tries to clean up the sweat patch that's happening here on the ground.
10-8 Waterloo leads in the fourth set. Greg Simone rolls this one over. Draymond gets it up right to Tomlinson from the back row. Tomlinson comes flying in, gets a huge kill, trying to spark this team. And every time they get a huge point like that, the Queens faithful here at the Burge Gym get a little energy, start cheering for him, and that might motivate this Queens team a little more. As Gibson Graham sets out Aiden Simone. Chris Brunette out to Tomlinson. One looks like it hit his fingers there and got sent long.
Little bit of a missed timing here.
But a point.
But a point still in the way of the Queens Gill side. Tomlinson definitely being bailed out for that one. Dramov making sure the down ref and the up ref have the same idea. And again for the Queens Gales, creating a bit of a spread, going back in the way of the Queens opportune. 11-10 with Wright in the back and his favorite lineup here in the front.
Gets a serve over. Nice pass up by Woolley. Gibson Graham out to Aiden Simone. Nice play by Draymond. Shearhorn taking control in the front row. Greg Simone passes up to Gibson Graham. Simone goes again. This one's off Tomlinson's hands, off the sticks, and off the head referee up there.
Always a tough position, always a dangerous one to be in. These guys are doing a fabulous job calling such a close match. Never an easy job to do.
Exactly.
I know I wouldn't want to be up there.
Especially when you know the stakes in this match. This one's knotted up at 11. Draymond to right, back set to Dakic. Gets stuffed by Simone and McConkey. They're pumped up after that point. We're about halfway through this fourth set here at the Burge Gym.
Koth up here on the back, ready to get things started.
Nice floater, gets it over. Draymond with the set to right. And Shearhorn is going to make the most of that set every chance he gets. Nice little quick from Wright, and that quick, it catches the defense off guard most of the time. Dakic throws up the spinner here. That one sails long. Waterloo's up 13-12 in a must-win set. Brennan Cote counters, throws up a spinner, rolls this one over. And Draymond laid out for that one, but the serve skimmed off the net, so his timing was a little off there, but great effort by Draymond.
Absolutely, he's trying to make that seal, but Coke has really been trying to play that short roll shot right in front of him. You know, he played that before. Another yellow card here. You know, we've seen a lot of yellow cards happening. It just, the stakes are really high, emotions are running strong. Dramov still going at it with the ref. Maybe even because they took that small timeout. Coke doing the right thing, putting the ball down, resetting. You know, these guys have to reset, get back in their groove. And here we go, up for that topspin.
Coke right to Dakic with a perfect pass up. Shearhorn with the quick. And it's dumped over right there, but saved by Draymov. Woolley to Graham. Out to Aiden Simone. That one just sailed long.
In a super back and forth match, the Queens Gales get another one, 14-13. We'll see what Shearhorn can do from the back here.
Draymond visibly frustrated as he
exits the court, absolutely.
What a play by McConkey to get a quick little point for the Warriors. Aiden Simone back to serve for the Warriors. Serves the floater over, right to Dakic. Right, sets Tomlinson. A huge block right there as McConkey gets his hands all over that one. So we reached a technical timeout point in the fourth set. Waterloo up 16-13.
Yeah, you know, no surprise. Waterloo has been playing very clean volleyball. Queens has had a little bit more emotion on their side. Have let a couple things drop and have been blocked a bit more typically than last set. So maybe that's just what Waterloo needed, a little bit stronger on blocking to allow their defense to go to work. And Queens with a little bit more emotion. So we're going to see what the Queens bench is saying to each other. Waterloo probably just talking about staying firm, you know, staying strong in that middle, and it seems to be all emotion right now for Brenda Willis and her Queens Gales.
As entering this set, they realized that they were one set away, and you never know if the pressure of that found them, but I mean, they're still in this one, only down 3, like we said earlier. You see how quickly a team can come back from 3. Waterloo in that second set was down 4-0 early on, and they ended up dominating the Gales, so we're in for a good one, to say the least.
You're so right. You can't take anything for granted, especially when you're in the Final Four, because these are the best of the best in Ontario, and they're not going to let anything go. As we've said before, this game is worth so much, not only the bronze, but a berth to CIS.
Miscommunication there. Dakic just sends it over. Gets tipped by McConkey. And Simone. Kind of an uncharacteristic play there. Trying to do too much with not enough. Could have just sent the free ball over, but tried to get the off-balance hit. As giving a free point to Queens here isn't something you want to do down the stretch, especially when you look who's behind the service line. The powerful southpaw in Mike Tomlinson. So powerful, gets the point for the Gales.
Wow.
That serve leaves you speechless at sometimes. Just watching it in person, it's just...
Look at these guys, Queens now getting the timeout from Waterloo. You know, it's definitely a debate of not letting them run away from anything. They're going to need to capitalize on this. Probably talking to Eric Woolley right now and how he's going to get behind Tomlinson's serve. You know, if you're just learning the game of volleyball, you got to watch the way this guy goes up and serves. He absolutely crunches right in the air, uses his full ability, his full arm, his full back, his full body to put as much as he can into the strength of that ball.
And when you think about his serve, he's so consistent with his spinner. Even though it's such a hard serve to master, it seems like he's mastered it as he doesn't miss many. And when you look at his serve, he throws that ball so high, his margin of error just expands that much more.
Absolutely, and coming into the Burge with those bright lights up there, Tomlinson does not let it affect him.
And like you said, the ghost of the Burge too behind him doesn't seem to have an effect on him here.
But he takes the pin right off the Brunette brother. You know, it's always a dangerous spot to be with that kind of power up in the front.
Just as we were talking about it too, he
flops one right into the back of Brunette.
Glad I'm on the side here, not at the front of the net, because that looked painful. As Chris Brunette gets this one up. They're going to call the double hit on his brother Scott.
You know, a really tough call there when you have a middle kind of call off everyone else to take that set. You know, if he had vacated, Wright is athletic enough and quick enough that he really could have gotten behind it. So he could be communicating to him, you know, let me get in there. Exactly,
because it's a very common call to see someone besides the setter of the lib get called for a double hit. And you see Waterloo get another point
You know, we're going to call another timeout here for the Queens Gale side. No surprise there. A split by 4 when they had only by 1. Waterloo capitalizing on 3 points there.
Timeout is called by Queens. Let's take a look at some highlights from this set so far.
No surprise here. The strong Coke in the back. We're going to see a couple of other strong hits. That one's from Aiden Simone, throwing Dremov off of his balance there. Tomlinson creaming it into the block, but capitalizing on the angle of that block. And Aiden Simone getting shut down by Tomlinson on both sides. You know, we're going to take a look back at this game. We saw Coke just hit one there, but McConkey's now on the baseline.
Here the Queens faithful start to get into this one some more. Right with the set to Brunette. That one's off the block and lands out. You see this, the Queens fans who have made the trip down from Kingston to support their team starting to get into it again. They realize their team is only a few points away from a berth in the Nationals.
Absolutely, and if they can capitalize, this will be the last set they need to play here tonight. The young Brunette here on the baseline. Aiden Simone with the pass up. And another mistake for the Waterloo Warriors. You know, they're going to need to minimize those mistakes so they don't let the Queens Gales back in.
Now you see setter Jamie Wright
Dylan
out of
Hunt.
the game, and Dylan Hunt now enters, and something he did earlier, he said the height at the net.
Absolutely.
Dakic, Scott Brunette, Dakic goes up, gets stuffed.
You know, that's a tough one. Brunette really trying to set up Dakic on the outside, but he sets him really, really tight to net. Difficult thing to do. He doesn't have a lot of room to move. And when you have Kokup and Simone on the outside, they're that really big block.
And I mean, I guess that's the thing too. When you take your setter out, you're vulnerable in a position like that.
Definitely, you run the risk of setting it up in a place you don't want to.
And Coke goes up. There's a touch at the net, and the Warriors get the point. They're up 21-17, nearing the end of this fourth set. Gibson Graham serves this one long. Great call by Tomlinson as he was guarding the back row there. So Queens fighting their way back into this one. They got 50-year vet Scott Brunette serving this one over. Gibson Graham out to Coke. Another point for the Warriors. Warriors up 22-18 here in the fourth set. Greg Simone likes his small spinner from behind the service line, throws it up right into the net, giving the point to the Gales. And you see Dremov, the captain, trying to get his team together. Tell him we're so close, let's fight back and get this one. Jamie Wright serves this one over. And in the middle, this one is saved. Tomlinson sends it over. Simone passes it up. Gibson Graham with the back set to Coke, goes up. Dremov gets this one up. Wright leaning over the signs here. And Wright sets this one out to Dakic, goes up, rolls this one over the block. Gibson Graham with the back set. Coke sends a free ball over, almost catches Brunette off guard there. Tomlinson goes up, off of the hand of Gibson Graham. The crowd gets up. Loud cheer for the Gales. What a rally there. Jamie Wright was reaching over the signs here at the Burge Gym, and he saved that one.
Gotta love that effort. Those ones seem to be worth more than the usual point as the energy gets infused right into the Queens offense. But maybe not into the defense as they miss that one. Waterloo smokes it right through the seam of Dremov.
Another point for the Warriors. We're up 23-20. This one gets sent over by Kotha. The back set to Dakic. That one lands on the Warriors side of the court. So Queens still in this one, only down 2.
Even with a big block up there, Dakic takes no respect for that and absolutely nails it through the seam of that one. Now he has the baseline at his attention.
Dakic with a nice serve, but 50-year vet Woolley will get that one. Draymond can't handle that.
Waterloo has the first chance at match point here as their superstar Coke hits the baseline.
Braden Koch has played a fantastic match so far, serving to stay in this match as they're up 24-14, 24-21, my bad. And Dakic off the block, gets the point for the Gales. So the Warriors still on set point here. They need 1 point. Tyler Shearhorn behind the service line for the Gales, trying to fight back into this one. Serve this one over. Gibson Graham with the quick to McConkey off the block. Right, out to Brunette, and it's off the block. A point for the Gales. And the timeout is called by Chris Lawson and the Warriors.
No surprise there at all. You know, you have the chance for match point. You don't want to let it go. And it seems to be they're letting it slide a little bit. 2 chances to seal up this set. And it's now 24-23. One more last chance and it's all tied up.
You never know what can happen here, and you wonder if you're Chris Lawson right now, what are you telling your team? You're 1 point away from forcing a 5th and decisive set. Brenda Willis telling her Queens team just to stay strong, fight, and you see what can happen as long as you get the ball over. Chris Lawson is telling his team to stay composed. Just 1 point as Gibson Graham sets McConkey. This one saved by Shearhorn. And Graham and McConkey. And Simone goes up and off the hands. That's a point for the Warriors. Ivo Draymond does not like that call, but he's held back by veteran head coach Brenda Willis as the Waterloo Warriors win the 4th set. And they're going to force a 5th and decisive set. They won that set 25-23. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. 5th and final set is next.
Professional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where tradition is celebrated, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail. Ontario University Athletics, where great sport lives.
I don't know why this photo, more than anything, I think, sticks with me for my memories of it.
She just looked up at me and she said, "I really love the new house, Mommy."
Would you give up that memory for money?
I wouldn't give that up for any amount of money.
It's too close to the heart.
A comprehensive financial plan and an Investors Group consultant will help get more out of your money so you can get more out of life.
Jim and the Queens Gales are in their huddle. Waterloo's in their huddle. Both teams can't make any mistakes this set as they both know what's at stake.
Absolutely, and a lot is at stake. As we have mentioned, the winner of this final set will make their way into the CIS Championships. And as we get the stat sheet here from this last game, I mean, you look at the amount of balls that these guys have put on their shoulder. There's a lot of mileage here. 37 attempts from Dakic, 40 from Tomlinson. That's a lot of mileage. And then no surprise here on the Waterloo side, 34 for Coke and 37 for Aiden Simone. You know, there's definitely go-to players on both these sides, and there's no surprise there, but I think the setters have done a fabulous job of spreading it out as a whole, at least over 2 of their hot hands.
And when you look at the setters, Gibson Graham with 46 assists, and then Jamie Wright countering with 45 assists of his own, and they each have 4 digs respectively. So, I mean, both setters neck and neck, both teams neck and neck as first team to 15 not only wins a bronze medal, but earns a berth in the CIS National Championships.
Absolutely, and you're going to look at their hitting percentage, 23% for Waterloo, 26 for Queens. you know, we're going to see a lot more of this, especially because the stakes have just gotten so much higher. Whoever wins this, 1st or 15, will get that berth into CIS.
You see both teams have been playing for about almost 2 hours, and it all comes down to 15 points. We're underway here. Gibson Graham catches Greg Simone from the back row, but he gets called for the violation there.
Wright's going to go up for that next shot. You know, each one of these points is going to be so important as they switch sides at that 8th point. These guys are going to want to get to that as soon as possible to make that switch.
Gibson Graham out wide to Aiden Simone. And a huge block there. You like to see your vets step up in a time like this when they really need to. It's his 5th year on the team, and he knows when and how to step up in big situations. Jamie Wright serves this one over. Greg Simone to Gibson Graham, sets up Braden Koch. Wright gets this one up. Dramoff out to Tomlinson, who tips that one, but Aiden Simone isn't going to have any of that as he blocks that one and gets a point for the Warriors.
You got to wonder what his thinking there was, whether he was going to push it deep third or whether he was just trying to wipe it off the block to go out. A little bit too tactical for that one, though, as Kothup lines up here on the baseline.
Dramoff passes this one up right. The back set to Dakic. This one saved. McConkey with the back set. Miscommunication there, but Simone sends it over. Right out to Tomlinson. The single block. Cole gets his hands on it. Simone calls everyone off. Sends it out to Aiden Simone. Tips it. Tomlinson was ready for that one. Falls over. But Wright sends this one to Dakic. Tips it. Graham. Kothup to Koch. Wright gets this one up. Tomlinson calls everyone off. Sends it to Dakic. The huge hit right there. And Koch sends the free ball over. Dakic right to Wright. And this one sent long. What a rally. What a point for the Waterloo Warriors.
Wow, that one was worth so much and ended with a miscommunication there. You know, sometimes it's just all about placement. The Waterloo Warriors doing a fabulous job placing it to really get Wright off of his heels and in the area of shoehorn.
Very smart volleyball move there with placement, and this one's blocked. This one's sent over, and Koch isn't going to let a ball like that just fall. He's going to hammer that one down to the back row where no one is on the Gales. The Warriors have a 3-2 lead in this set. This one gets sent over. Right out to Tomlinson, and he's stopped right there by Braden Koch. The Warriors with 4 straight points, forcing the Gales to call a timeout. What a turn of events here in the 5th and final set.
Wow, the athleticism of Braden Koch on the outside. You know, this guy has just been someone we've mentioned time and time again, not only for his strength on the offense, but also for just his strength as a blocker and on the baseline. He's been a very reliable player throughout this whole match.
And you see Wright trying, he's feeding Dakic and Tomlinson, and you can tell just by the stat sheet that those are his favorite 2 targets, but we'll see how he utilizes Scott and Chris Brunette here coming down the stretch. As you look at their numbers, they both played really well. Scott Brunette, only 8 kills, but he's only at 11 total attacks, so his percentage right there, something you like to see if you're a coach.
Absolutely.
Back underway here, Trevor Kothup sends this one over. Dramoff saves that one. Tomlinson goes up, tips it. Koch goes up again. Right. Dakic, my bad, saves that one. Tomlinson right into the net. Braden Koch is playing on another level in this 5th set.
Absolutely. Tomlinson trying to do a little bit too much with that one, but Wright making the fabulous call as that ball went off Dakic so high. Would have been tough to make that a clean set.
Great defense for Queens. They just are getting outplayed by the Warriors right now. Right with the back set. Dakic goes up off the block. Graham gets it. Simone out to Aiden Simone. And you can hear the sound of that ball there.
You know exactly where it's going as soon as you hit it. And it seems as though Aiden Simone kind of took that one at a weird angle off of his brother.
Queens gets the point. They're going to try and build off that one. They're down 5-3 here. Dakic throws up the spinner. A huge serve there. Koch saves that one. Sends it to Aiden Simone. Another unforced error. That's 2 in a row for Simone.
Absolutely an unforced error. Aiden Simone taking a weird angle, and on those kind of plays, I remember being reprimanded if you took those in the air because there really is no need. Kind of stay on the ground, stabilize it out, and stick to those top spin balls. Get it in that back third.
Dakic sends a powerful one over that skips the net. Graham out to Simone. Rolls that one over. And another point for the Gales. 3 straight points there.
Aiden Simone dropping 3 points there. Setter Greg Gibson trying to still a little bit of confidence in him, but even on those in-system balls, maybe spread it out a little bit, as it seems as though he's faltered a little bit too much in this 5th set here. 3 points is a lot when it's only 5-5 in the gym right now.
And I mean, when the set only goes up to 15.
There's so much value there, so it's all about sticking to fundamentals. And as we look at the Waterloo bench, you got to know that Chris Lawson is basically trying to calm his guys down, reestablish the plan, and keep them online. Both teams approach the court as quickly as possible. And the ball is now in the hands of the Queen Gales, and Dakic on the baseline.
Throws up the spinner. Perfect serve there, gets it up. Graham with the one-handed set. That one paints the back line here at the Birds gym, and you see all the Queens players' faces, and they know it was in. They're just like...
Absolutely, they're all up for defense, and it's kind of a wish and a prayer when you get those floater phasers going for the back third.
Nice pass up by Dakic there, right out to Brunette. Blocked by McConkey. Right this time with the backset to Tomlinson, who went way up for that one. Koch saves it. Draymov to right. From the back row, Dakic. Woolley gets this one over. Right, the backset, Tomlinson again. Through the block. Mike Tomlinson, so much power. This one's all squared away at 6. Tyler Shearhorn floats this one over. Simone. Gibson sets McConkey. Comes right back with a point of his own. Aiden Simone looking for a little redemption here. He made a few errors in this set. Sends this one over. Draymov with the nice pass up to right. A huge play there for Scott Brunette. Someone we just talked about. Doesn't get that many attacks, but when he does, he makes the most of them.
Absolutely. It's all about running those middle plays. It's all about keeping those blockers honest. And as long as Wright can capitalize on Brunette in the middle, he will have success.
Tomlinson throws this one up. Hammers it over. Woolley gets it up. Graham out to Greg Simone. Haven't really heard his name much on the offensive end of things. He reaches double digits with kills, but he's been all over the court offensively, defensively, and Waterloo's up 8-7 as the team switch sides here at the Birds gym.
They do switch sides, but they don't switch any energy exchange here. McConkey on the baseline, ready to get started, and it seems as though Dramoff is more in it than he has ever been. This means so much.
Scott Brunette gets it up right to his brother, Chris Brunette. There's a touch there. You get the brotherly connection there, Brunette to Brunette, and you see how pumped up their team gets. As soon as Brunette got the point, Draymond gives a little push, like, let's go.
Absolutely, you can see how pumped up they are. Both coaches out of their seats currently, as it's 8-8 in a 15-point match, and Koch scores that one on the outside.
9-8, the Warriors lead in what's been a back and forth matchup so far. Gibson Graham, the setter for the Warriors. Back to serve. Serves this one right at Chris Brunette. Right with the backset to Tomlinson. Gets it over the block. Woolley sets Koch. Pushes this one over. Right with the backset to Tomlinson. Off the block. And you see how far that ball landed out of bounds. It just shows you how much power Tomlinson has.
So much power. And if they can harvest that power, they might be able to pull forward past this back and forth lead here.
Out to Koch, goes up, off of Brunette's chest. He was in the right spot. It just hit him where his hands weren't. So the Warriors, first team to reach double digits here. They're up 10-9 in this fifth set. 5 points away from that bronze medal. Greg Simone composing himself before he does anything. Serves the spinner over. Draymond with the pass up right out to Daykic. Off the block. And another point for the Gales. Back and forth we go here at the Perch, Jim.
Yeah, you know, back and forth we go. And I remember watching the women's game a couple of weeks ago. It ended up going all the way to 36-34, if you can believe it. I feel like we're going to be here all night the way that this game has been going. 10-10. Gibson goes to Koch. No surprise there.
Tomlinson saves it. Hits the desk here. But he's right back in action, ready for the block. This one's tipped up, and a point.
It was all worth it for Tomlinson as he took that one. You're right into the desk. We kind of felt the vibrations of that one, but you know, got right back into place.
Slow to get up there, but I think he'll take a banged up ankle for a point. As Queens is up 11-10 now. Gibson Graham the quick, off of Wright's chest. What a fantastic match this has been. 11-all is the score. Substitution. Philippe Pichet is subbing into the game as like a serve back row specialist. It looks like so it's tight to the net. Aiden Simone goes up, gets the huge hit there. Hammers that one down. Waterloo takes a 12-11 lead in this set. So he gets served over. Draymond can't handle it. Wright saves it, and Shearhorn sends it into the net. This Waterloo team is pumped up on the sidelines here. A timeout is called by Brenda Willis and the Gales as Waterloo is 2 points away from a berth in the CIS Championships. 2
points away. You know, you don't want to let that slide. When you look back in the future, you're going to remember that moment where you had 2 points to go. 13-11. You got to be wondering where he's going to go. I'm going to say Koch for sure. And maybe through the middle there. Woolley controlling the back row and doing whatever he can. You know, these guys, what do you think is going to happen right now, Kyle?
With the momentum right now, I think Waterloo is gonna. I think they're gonna get a huge block here. That's my prediction.
Knows?
But anything can happen. Tomlinson in the front row, ready for anything. You can tell he's lingering some kind of pain after that hard fall here. But we're back underway. Right, the quick off the block, passed up. Gibson Graham back row to Koch. Draymond gets it up tight to the net. Shearhorn, but pushed over by McConkey. Both teams want it bad right now. Daykic goes up. Tomlinson was ready. Daykic up again. This one's up by Simone this time. Graham calls everyone off. Gives it to Simone. Over the block. Draymond in the back row. Right. Out to Tomlinson. Goes up. And a huge block for the Warriors. They get a point. They're now 1 point away from a bronze medal and a berth in the CIS Championships. What a rally.
1 point away. You can't even believe it. And it happens now.
Knight goes up. A huge kill right there for Tomlinson.
And back comes Kothap. Hunt doing his job in the back row, being a defensive specialist as well as a serving specialist. That's what you want. But the middle's going to come out anyway as Woolley makes his step back on the court looking for that bronze medal.
14-12, Waterloo leads. Marco Dakic composing himself, goes up to serve. Just over the net there, Woolley Graham. The backside, Coke goes up. Wright gets it, and it's off the net here. The Waterloo Warriors win the 5th and final set, 15-12, and clinch a berth in the CIS National Championships.
Absolutely, and what a season it has been. You know, this program has been building for some time now. Waterloo being such a strong team in the OUA. They've really been building their program. Chris Lawson is going to be nothing but proud of his guys today. Unfortunately, it is the end of the Queens Gales season. And you know, it definitely was a good one. These guys brought it all today and left it all on the court, that's for sure.
And the Waterloo faithful who came out for this one watched a fantastic match as both teams played their hearts out. A 2-hour-long match. And kind of the way to end it, a nice dig by Wright, and you see the basketball net's hanging a little low here at the Burge Gym. But what a hard-fought matchup here by both teams.
You always got to wonder, too, because U.S. rules allow volleyball players to play off of surrounding areas. So kind of in that position, Queens is wondering, hey, you know, why don't we have that rule?
Yeah.
So it's got to go either way. And, you know, you couldn't have called what way it was going to go today because both teams just played top of their game today.
Both teams fought for it. As, like we said many times, they knew it was at stake, and both teams fight the entire match, and it's just, it was a crazy matchup to watch. A 2-hour-long match. You see Waterloo saluting the crowd here, even the Queens faithful here. Everyone who was in attendance at the Burge Gym for this one watched a fantastic match. Everyone on OUA.TV was in for a great match here, and just a fantastic match as Waterloo wins the bronze medal, and see Coach Chris Lawson and assistant coach so happy. The team, they worked so hard, and third place may not be where they wanted to finish in the Final Four, but you throw the regular season out the window. You throw this tournament now out the window because you look forward to next Thursday and the national tournament that is hosted right here in the Burge Gym by McMaster. Doing Player of the Game awards here. Braden Koch, Player of the Game for the Warriors. He played a fantastic match for the Warriors, carrying them to a CIS National Championship berth. They bring out the bronze medals here as the Warriors await.
We will also ask Mr. Gabler to assist with the presentation of our bronze medals. Our OUA bronze medalists also advance to next week's CIS Men's Volleyball Championship that will be hosted here on McMaster.
You see they go down to the line awaiting the bronze medals. What a ride it's been for this Waterloo team as they had controversy this year. They had to forfeit 5 games. They come back from that. They beat Toronto in the quarterfinals. Lose to McMaster in the semis, but they don't let that get behind them. They come back, fight, win the bronze medal, and who knows, like we said, national tournament is a whole new season. You see Eric Woolley get his medal, and he's limping hard. That left calf is wrapped, and he is a true warrior playing in this game, knows how much it meant to them. He's not going to sit out. The 5-year vet. What a fantastic match for the Warriors. The Warriors get a 6-day break. They don't have to travel far for nationals. They get to drive home tonight and just drive back on Thursday. So a week of practices will prep them for nationals. When you look at the past results, the last time they medaled was in 2014-15. They lost to McMaster in the OUA finals, so they won silver that year. and they finished 8th at the CIS championship. So they get a bronze this year, and now it's just where they will finish in the CIS national championships. As you see the Warriors give a huge round of applause to their 9th-year coach, Chris Lawson, as he gets the OUA bronze medal around his neck.
Next Thursday. Coming up, fans, it's your OUA championship final. The Runners and Rams.
Looks like Amanda's gonna get a quick interview with Braden Koch in a bit, but first taking that team picture, and you'll get the Queen side of things. It's the final game for Mike Tomlinson and Scott Burnett as they're in their 5th year. Same with Marco Dakic. So their 3 powerhouses have finished their OUA careers. You see Ryerson starting to come out onto the court, and McMaster just dying to get out on this court, as both of those teams, Ryerson and Mac, have clinched a berth in the CIS National Championships. But it's more than that, it's OUA gold is on the line. See the crowd starting to build up in here as well. Looks like Amanda's getting set up with Braden Koch on the sideline here, but Mac starting to warm up on the court. Ryerson ready to go, but let's send it over to Amanda, who's with Braden Koch. Amanda?
Hey, I'm standing here with Braden Koch here, MVP of the game. No surprise there. Braden, how did you guys manage to win that game? It was so neck and neck. What was the determining factor for you?
I think we just know that in the end, whenever we face a ton of adversity, whenever we have a hard time, we've been able to pull through. We had some mishaps in the beginning of the season. Every single game we played in the second half is a must-win because of the way that our record was. We've been under pressure the whole time. We knew in the 5th set, yeah, it's under pressure, but that's what we've been doing the whole time. This entire year, we haven't really won in 3 that often. It's been pretty common that we've dropped a set, and we've just been able to say, look, guys, we need to get together, and we need to win this one right now. And we did it again today, and it was awesome.
You know, it absolutely was an absolute fight out here today, and you guys proved that winning in 5. How much do you think having your fans out here, having Waterloo support has helped you guys with your success?
It's awesome. Waterloo fans are great. I only heard a couple days ago that the fan bus was already sold out and they were starting to sell a second fan bus, and it's awesome. It's great having that sort of support from your fans, having them be vocal. It's great, especially in the last set. I mean, anyone that was watching knows that our team played with so much energy, and we drew a lot of that from the fans. Oh.
How does it feel knowing that you are going to be going to the CIS Championship? I almost got nicked off here. The McMaster Marauders are warming up right now. We are in a bit of a dangerous spot, but how does it feel knowing you're going into CIS?
Honestly, it feels really, really good. Like I said before, every game for us could be the end of our season. We need to win all of these, and every single time we win, it feels great knowing we pushed our season further. And this win is another one of those. We pushed our season. We got at least another 2 games, hopefully another 3. Every game we've been getting better, so I hope we can keep improving and show what we can do at CIS.
I'm going to let Brandon go and celebrate. You have a bunch of celebrating to do. Congratulations, and congratulations on the MVP. We're going to throw it back to you, Kyle, on the desk.
Thanks, Amanda. That'll do it for our first broadcast here. Congratulations to the Waterloo Warriors, who win the bronze medal and clinch a berth in the CIS National Championships. But don't go anywhere. In 29 minutes, the McMaster Marauders and Ryerson Rams will take to the court for the OUA Championship. So thank you for watching, and come back at 8 for the championship.